All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. There is nobody that is going to question the basketball talent of Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant. Morant was the second overall pick of the 2019 NBA draft, and he has quickly established himself as one of the best players in the NBA. Already, Morant is a two-time All-Star while being named as the NBA's Rookie of the Year in 2020. But all of that basketball talent won't amount to a hill of beans, as Morant's off the court decisions could soon result in him not having a basketball career. Earlier this season, Morant was suspended 8 games after a video surfaced of him brandishing a gun on Instagram. Morant did acknowledge afterwards that he needs to be better, but he also took another huge step backwards when another video surfaced on Instagram with him flashing another handgun over the weekend. Now, since then, the Grizzlies have suspended Morant from all team activities, and it would not surprise me, in my opinion, if he just played his last game for Memphis. Too many off the court issues for Morant, whether it was the run in with a high school kid over a pickup game, the incident at a mall in Memphis, um, an associate of John Morant's being banned from the Grizzlies' home arena after going onto the court uh, with an altercation to confront the Indiana Pacers. The alleged incident with at least a laser, we don't know if that laser was attached to a gun, that was pointed towards a Pacers team bus in the loading dock. These incidents are starting to pile up there. And, it's one of those where one's an accident, two's a trend, and three is a problem. And, yes, Ja Morant is currently the face of the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, Ja Morant is one of the up and coming stars in the NBA and one of the future faces potentially of this league. But at the end of the day, no corporation, and that's basically what the NBA is, just like any other professional sports league. No corporation is going to make somebody the face of their brand if you know what this person's constantly finding themselves in trouble. And it's one of those where there are going to be people who are going to say, well, hey, John Morant didn't break any laws. Totally understand that, but at the end of the day, the NBA, like a lot of other professional sports leagues, they have morality clauses, and you're still a representative of them. You're not just a representative of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA when you're on the court. You're a representative of that organization during your pregame interviews. You're a representative of that organization during your postgame interviews. You're a representative 24/7 for the most part, and that comes with that profession. There's no, ifs, ands, or buts around that. And that is something that John Morant has to understand. John Morant also has to do a better job of putting better people around him because obviously he's been around people that don't have his best interest involved. But at the same time, John Morant himself has to do better. And I know there are going to be some people out there that are going to say, well, you know what? He's a young guy. He's 23. He's going to be 24 over the summer. And at some point, you got to put up or shut up. Because if the NBA didn't feel that you were mature enough, if the Memphis Grizzlies didn't feel that you were mature enough, they would not have invested the money that they have currently in you. You look at endorsement deals that John Morant has, and he's probably blowing with companies such as Powerade and Nike. It's only going to be a matter of time before these companies distance themselves from Morant. Also, he got the 8 game suspension previously, and a lot of people felt like that was a slap on the wrist from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and the Memphis Grizzlies. This time around, that punishment is going to be much more severe because if you listened to Adam Silver talk during the NBA's draft lottery earlier this week, he genuinely sounded hurt over the fact that we're right back to square number one with Ja Morant on this issue. And of course, Adam Silver and Ja Morant recently met at the league offices in New York City. So, nonetheless, for me, I think on the low end, you're looking at a 25 game suspension. On the high end, maybe a 50 game suspension. And maybe when the paychecks stop coming in, maybe that's going to be the impotence that Ja Morant needs to realize that, you know what I'm doing is very severe because it's, and I say the title of this because Ja Morant is blowing the chance of a lifetime because you're talking about the money that he's currently losing, not being able to qualify for the all NBA teams, uh, a situation where, his contract and future contracts in the NBA could potentially be in jeopardy because with the path that he's currently going on, nobody may ever offer him another max contract unless he does a complete 180 or reinvents himself off the court. On the court, we're not questioning what Ja Morant can do. He's a bad dude. Nobody's ever going to take that away from him. It's the off the court stuff. And you look at it like this: Ja Morant is on a fast track, and I hate to say this, of playing himself out of the NBA altogether if this doesn't turn around. And it's one of those where the people around him need to understand that because obviously he's taking care of a lot of people. And if Ja Morant's not playing ball, how are those people going to get taken care of? So it's one of those where somebody needs to step up around Ja, but Ja Morant himself has to step up and understand the severity of this. Again, it would not surprise me to see Ja serve this suspension that's coming. And I guarantee you, next NBA season, you're not going to see Ja Morant in October, November, and possibly December. That much I can guarantee because the NBA wants to send a message not only to him, but also the rest of the players in the league. There's going to be some people out there. They're going to say a lot of people need to be held accountable for this. But at the end of the day, Ja Morant has to be responsible for his own actions. Again, the people around you can put you or can attempt to put you in bad situations, but at some point you have to say to yourself, I'm not doing this anymore. He hasn't gotten to that point yet. And obviously, some people listening to what I'm saying right now may agree with me. Some people may not. That's fine. That's all well and good. But the talent is there. The talent, the basketball talent on the court is immense. And I just hope for this young man's sake that he realizes that before it's too late. You never want to be that person that says, you know what, I should have done this, I should have done that. Ja Morant has that opportunity to be great right now. And unfortunately, he's flirting with disasters. He's walking on that fine line of the razor's edge. Again, it would not surprise me to see him be sat down by the NBA for half of the season. Maybe then the light will go on. But at the end of the day, just like it is on a nightly basis when the Memphis Grizzlies take the court, the ball is in Ja Morant's hands. The ball is going to soon be in the hands of Commissioner Adam Silver as he's going to hand down a punishment, obviously more severe than the 8 games that Ja got. But even when Commissioner Silver does hand down that punishment, the ball is going to be back in Ja Morant's hands because it's going to be up to him to change his behavior and prove to the NBA that, you know what, he can be a part of their league going forward with the standards that they set. But at the end of the day, it would not surprise me to just simply say, whenever that suspension is over, that the Memphis Grizzlies just say, you know what, we're ready to go in another direction with our organization. And John Morant, you won't be part of it. It's just the nature of the game. It's a business. And when these teams invest millions upon millions of dollars in the players and they feel like the players are not representing them often on and off the playing field in the fashion that they need to be, well, then just like any other business, they're definitely going to look to cut bait with that person. So when it's all said and done, let's just see if Ja Morant can figure it out, get it going, and his off the court decisions will match those of the magnificent decisions and play that he makes on the basketball court. We just have to wait and see. But, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, and I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.